I got a bunch of emails. We'll just do a few because it's getting late and I haven't slept in weeks. Okay. What could be a viable solution for a livable peace with the Palestinians? With the hope of war ending and Hamas's eradication, do you know if there are other Muslims with a similar mindset as Mosab Hassan Yousef, the Green Prince? And do you think there's any possibility that Palestinian civilians would want them to work in a leadership position with Israelis? Similar to what I asked, I guess.
I'll answer this because it's a bit grim, and then I'll say something hopefully not grim. Mosab is a friend of mine, known as the Green Prince, some of you'll know. And I was with him again recently in Israel. He's a very unusual person. Having said that, I've known a couple of people like him in my life who've been born into extremist organizations and have thought their way out. That is highly unusual. It's highly unusual. Let alone, as Mosab did, like, risk your life and end up giving up all of your family connections and your entire support network and like starting afresh elsewhere. That is highly unusual and one of the many reasons I admire him so much. But I would just say again that, I mean, there's no hope for the Palestinians until they create a culture of hope themselves and a culture which encourages learning and non-hatred. And until that day, they will be hopeless. And if they cannot educate their young to not hate, then their situation will be hopeless. Because, you know, here's some news for them. Israel ain't going anywhere. And
one more?
Okay. No, I just wanted to say one thing. Sorry, guys. The hour is late. And people have snow to drive through. Let me say a couple of things just very quickly. Firstly, thank you. Thank you to all. And thank you to all of the remarkable men and women who've made this evening possible. I also want to say thank you to all of you. I think there are quite a lot of things you can do in Toronto on a Wednesday night, including staying at home. But you didn't, and you chose to come out and to join us. And we don't take that for granted at all, and we're deeply, deeply grateful that you've shared this evening with us. So thank you. And one other thing, if I may. I just wanted to say something that hasn't come up, and maybe finish on this. A lot of people at the moment in Jewish communities around the world are feeling very beleaguered and very alone and very afraid. And I understand this very much and am deeply pained by it, like a lot of people. But I wanted to say one thing in particular, which is this. Funnily enough, if you want to feel some hope, come to Israel. And I'll tell you why. It's not just that it's a country currently united in a common purpose and in a common cause, that has woken up to a reality that countries like this and Britain and America have not yet woken up to. And, you know, sleep well if you can. But it's not just those things. It's one thing in particular. Everybody who fought in the wars of 1967, 1973, and First Lebanon War, Second, everyone in Israel of a certain age used to have a lingering feeling over recent years, which is, what are the young generation like? After Russia invaded Ukraine, there was a poll of Americans, and it found that about 52% of Americans said that they would stay and fight if their country was invaded like Ukraine had been invaded. A majority of Republicans, a minority of Democrats, who presumably would hot-footed to Canada, assuming it wasn't you doing the invading, which I'd like to take as read. In Britain the other day, there was a poll because the Foreign Secretary said, if Russia rolls into NATO countries, our army isn't big enough, we're going to need conscription. And a minority of people said that they would stay and fight. And I just wanted to say this. Don't trust those polls. People rise to the occasion if they have it in them. And you can nurture it in people. There is no reason why young people in Canada or America or Britain or the rest of the West should be weak and intimidated and pushed around and made to feel bad because of nothing they've done. There is no reason that we should be nurturing generations of cringing people. I think of a country like this one as having produced remarkable people and tough people and strong people, quiet in their strength, but strong. And Israel has shown something remarkable which the rest of the world should learn from. As one man said to me the other week in Israel, he said, I fought in 1967 and 1973, and you know, I owe the young generation an apology. They have been magnificent. And if you want hope, come to Israel, see the young men and women. They're not remarkable before you realize that they've become remarkable. They didn't know they were remarkable. They picked up guns and drove south as fast as they could, and they went back to their units at massive oversubscription rates. They flew from around the world the day after to get back home and join their units. They, every day, every hour of every day, they are keeping the people of Israel safe. They have been weighed in the balance and found to be magnificent. So I say, when people say, oh, well, what should Israel learn about the rest of the world? The rest of the world should be so lucky as to learn from Israel. And the rest of the world should be so lucky as to produce a generation like this. So if you want hope, come over and I'll see you there.
There's one last thing we'd like to do. We'd like to offer you this beautiful award.
Sure. Thank you. Oh, right.
So my name is Brian Lipovetsky, and I wanted to thank you, first of all. Thank you for coming and being here with us. Thank you to everyone who joined us tonight. And I'm going to say a few words. So if you just yes, please sit down. So we wanted to give you something. This is our first award, first Tafsik award, and we plan on doing more. So those of you who joined us tonight, would you like Tafsik to do another event like this? Yes? Absolutely. Imagine a world where understanding our past empowers us to shape a future free from the chains of hatred and division. A world where one's individual relentless pursuit of truth and justice lights the way for others. Today we gather not just to celebrate such a vision, but to honor a man who embodies this ideal. Douglas Murray is not just a scholar, but he is a beacon of truth in a time clouded by misinformation. Through his rigorous analysis of historical events, he has shed light on complex geopolitical dynamics, always with the aim of fostering a more informed and compassionate world. The Cyrus Ally Award, named after Cyrus the Great, symbolizes more than just the recognition. It embodies the bridge between ancient allyship and our contemporary struggle against anti-Semitism. Douglas Murray stands as a modern-day Cyrus, championing the values of understanding, justice, and unity. As we honor Douglas Murray here today, our journey does not end here. Inspired by his dedication, let us each commit to being allies in our own daily lives. Standing firmly against hatred and the principles of democracy and freedom, together we can build a future that honors the legacy of Cyrus the Great and the courageous spirit of Douglas Murray.
Oh, thank you. What a pleasure. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. A safe drive home.